Jones and financial advisor Doug Eslick, member SIPC, serving investors with personalized attention and financial advice at 112 Lowe's Foods Drive in Louisville, North Carolina. If you would like additional information, please contact me at 336-477-6042.
Thanks as always to Doug Eslick. Great friend of the program, great advisor as well with Edward Jones. And if you have questions on maybe something you heard there, maybe you didn't catch it all, maybe you have other thoughts of things Doug wasn't even able to address there in the Monday morning market update, greatest way to plug in with him, his phone number, and he'll come meet you where you are, which I think is really cool. 336-477-6042. Again, 336-477-6042. Now, we got so much here to get to. But there was one item from the weekend I saw, and it just happened yesterday, and it feels like a whole celebratory deal. Christmas, honestly, come early. I don't know. I'd never have gotten. Explain to me real quick. Christmas in July. Why is that a thing?
Because we're officially 6 months from Christmas.
So it's just the halfway deal that makes people try to throw that in. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Sure. We should all celebrate life every day, right? That's what I'm going to go with. This is the reason for me to celebrate. We made it. Oh, man, it felt like I was going to pass out. I just couldn't almost stand it any longer. Yesterday, though, I saw it was our last day without football for the rest of the year. Wow, what a drought. I mean, drought's been bad here in the state from rain. You soccer people, I don't know about your sport. We'll have to keep figuring that out. Women's World Cup next summer. I have to worry about that later. Football time, baby. Back. So now officially we won't have to have these Sundays of trying to, I don't know. What did I do? I did a bunch of yard work. That's what I did. Out there sweating. Instead, I want to be sweating over what's happening in a game. So I'm excited about that. A couple of Triad sporting events here are at risk, though, in not continuing any further. Big mistake. We're going to share both of these. But first, we're going to also do a little bit of Comic-Con action as we go to our break here. That was out in San Diego over the weekend. And when we come back, there were some big announcements from this. We're going to turn to our trusted expert when it comes to all things nerdity. That's Christian, because this is not my wheelhouse. But I'm interested to see how big these things are. We'll share them with you next. Stay with us here on the Daily Pulse.
At WSJS.com, we don't just share events. We connect communities. Whether it's discovering local nonprofits or winning exciting prizes, we're about bringing the Triad together. Our Triad Today calendar is your guide to what's happening around town. Tell us about your event at WSJS.com. Celebrate and support what makes the Triad stronger. Enter to win, give back, and get involved. WSJS.com, where community, contests, and connections unite.
This hour of conversation is brought to you in part by Crossroads Ford in Kernersville, the Ford store that gives you more, just off I-40 on Highway 66. Drive it, love it. CrossroadsFordKernersville.com.
Biscuit King in High Point and Lexington serves enormous, delicious, award-winning biscuits. Made from scratch and filled up with whatever you like best. Today's special is a spicy chicken biscuit for only $3.69. Biscuit King. Delivery and online ordering available through BiscuitKingLex.com.
People love a lot of things nowadays. Why, just the other day, I heard someone say they love their morning coffee. Now, the Twin City Thunderbirds? That's something worth loving. With an opening for an experienced salesperson, it's your chance to join a top-notch team in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Sell family fun, community spirit, and build business partnerships. The time is now. Contact Carrie Ross at cross@tcbirds.hockey.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Ahoy, mateys! Set sail with Sunnyside Winds on WSJS and plunder a chest of great prizes. Chart your course to treasure at WSJS.com. Tickets to see John Mellencamp, Brian Adams with Pat Benatar, and The Fray with Dashboard Confessional. Shiver me timbers! More loot is waiting with Win More. Tickets to see Evanescence, Toto with the Romantics and Christopher Cross, and John Fogerty with Steve Winwood. Drop anchor at WSJS.com.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, where you feel the rhythm of the Triad.
The Daily Pulse is back here on WSJS. If you miss anything at all, though, as we go this morning, don't forget it's podcast as well for you. You just got to slide over to the site there, WSJS.com, and we'll click up where you can choose podcasts. Plus, they're in all the major podcast catchers. Other thing at the site, Sunnyside Winds. And we got all sorts of tickets that we could throw your way. Just like John Mellencamp, the Dancing Words tour. That's July 30th out in Charlotte, coming up this Thursday night. I love the Fray. They're with Dashboard Confessional. Colony House, Friday night, August 7th. That's in Charlotte as well. Brian Adams, Pat Benatar. That's Saturday night, August 8th, Spectrum Center, Charlotte. So all sorts of items if you want to go and register for those. We were talking like Christmas in July, Christmas come early. That was what I felt like yesterday, knowing that football's back. That's a gift for me. That makes me excited. That makes me happy. I would love to share and pass that on to you. So, honestly, like I said, if you love the Fray, maybe you love John Mellencamp, we've got tickets in hand. We'll put you on. You can go register at Sunnyside Winds. Super easy way to do it there. You click there, you give us some information. You may win. I would like to just personally be one of the hands here that could gift something directly to you. If you call us at 336-777-1600, and we're going to put you on. But I want to hear like what really about John Mellencamp or maybe the Fray do you love? Like, I want to get out there. I want to see that. I think that'd be a fun way to start this week. Last night, actually, or over the weekend, I don't know if it was last night. It was definitely this last weekend. Noah Khan, who's been touring, he's had, he's had some stories where he's had to come out and actually encourage his audience not to defecate outside of a restroom. Like these people are crazy. They're not wanting to miss any of the concert. They're trying to hold their place in I guess the standing room only areas. And Noah Khan was actually at Carter Finley Stadium with a huge concert. He said he was going to get a tattoo of Raleigh because of just how awesome the atmosphere was. We've actually got a clip though where shots were fired towards Tar Heel and Blue Devil fans.
NC State is better than Duke and UNC?
Just real quick, he just basically shouts out NC State and claims that they're better than Duke and UNC. I don't know. What I love about this weekend is that not only I got that gift, not only are we having some entertainment news pieces like Noah, but there's a whole other world that a lot of times people don't get to plug into as much. And this world, well, as I understand it, it's very much more imaginative than anything, maybe. You dress up, you read about action superheroes, you try to I guess, envision a world where Spider-Man swoops in and saves the day at the end. Do I have all that right, Christian? You're from the comic. What do you want to be called? A comic fan?
Yeah, comic fans are fine. That's a good representation of comic book and superhero and all kinds of just just comic in general.
Okay, well, Comic-Con is the festival. I guess is a festival, or it's the
big
get
one.
together.
Yep.
Yeah, that was taking place in San Diego over the weekend. Marvel was back last year. I guess they had missed this whole festival, but they came out with a boom, it appears, over this weekend where they had a couple of big reveals. The first is about David Johnson. He is going to be the new Black Panther. I don't know who David Johnson is.
So he's fairly new on the scene. He's mainly known for The Long Walk, which was about a bunch of young teenage kids who are going through an extreme ordeal to where they're just basically walking down a road, and if they don't continue to walk at a certain pace, they eventually get eliminated. And so you're trying to go for a prize, and it's the last one. There you go.
And people sit there and watch that for how long?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It can't.
Well, I guess better question yet. Let's really drill down to this. Will David be a good Black Panther in your mind?
I think it's a potential because he's actually playing the son of T'Challa, which is the name of the character that Chadwick Boseman played. That was his, I guess, what you would call alter ego, his personal persona outside of Black Panther was T'Challa. So he is going to be the heir. So we'll see. It's going to be the third installment of the Wakanda Black Panther universe. So we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, you lost me when it started saying alter personas and things. But what I would say is Black Panther and the series, pretty clear that it was good in its three iterations, this being the third, but in its previous two iterations. It earned more than 1.3 billion worldwide with the first movie back in 2018. That one also won an Academy Award. So, this obviously a huge element to the weekend. The other big announcement was Ryan Gosling will enter the MCU. Is that Marvel Universe? Is that a
Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
That's the movie version.
As Ghost Rider.
Yes.
He's going to reunite with Sean Levy, who I guess they worked together on one of the Star Wars movies, Starfighter. And he said over the weekend, Brian, that he had wanted to play Ghost Rider for a long time. So, at least he acts like it's a big deal. What do you rate that one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good potential. I think it's going to be a good potential reboot because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Nicolas Cage played it back 15, 20 years ago. And like you said, Star Wars, Starfighter, it's going to be a whole separate entity when it comes to the Star Wars universe. And that comes out in 2027. But we'll have to see. Ryan Gosling seems to get all of his fingers in everything right now. So I don't know. We'll see.
So those were the key items. The other, though, was Ryan Reynolds wandering around Comic-Con. But he wasn't himself exactly.
So he was actually playing in the
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. And the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Yeah, so Ryan Reynolds just wandering around throughout the San Diego auditorium where this was taking place. Nobody had a clue, though, because he's dressed up as Deadpool, and he's just out there taking pictures with fans, hanging out. So it was a big weekend there in San Diego. I'm glad that it seems everything was fun for the people plugged in, like Christian, our man here, to keep us up to speed on all these things. Because honestly, that was just like talking German. So Brickens the Deutsch today. Yeah.
More to come with that movie.
All right. We'll catch a break here. We're going to come back. Got some reset items to take care of with some latest headlines. Plus, like I said, man, a couple of local Triad sporting events, they're at risk. Find out those details next.
Get ready for a night of stories, soul, and the songs that shaped American rock.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane.
John Mellencamp brings his Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hits, to True Lions Amphitheater, Charlotte, this Thursday night, July 30th. Listen to WSJS for your chance to win and enter online at WSJS.com.
I was born in a small town.
John Mellencamp, this Thursday night, True Lions Amphitheater, Charlotte.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Sunny and warm weather coming our way today. That high ranging from the mid to upper 80s. We're going to maintain dry weather as the night goes on, a low right at 70. And we do have a system sliding our way Tuesday. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms with it. And some of the storms may actually produce some severe weather with one of the main threats damaging winds. Tuesday's high at 90. Back to dry weather for Wednesday, mostly sunny. And our afternoon high upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Hey, it's Josh Graham here. While I still call the Triad home, the show's gone national. And you can catch me on Westwood One Sports Night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, right here on WSJS. Plus, you can catch me on the weekends, 4 to 7 p.m. Don't miss the up-to-the-minute scores and hot takes on everything sports on News Talk Sports for the Triad and the home of Josh Graham, WSJS.
When someone you love serves our nation, their courage and sacrifice become part of our everyday life. The Purple Heart is a testament to that extraordinary bravery, a symbol of courage and sacrifice that marked their family's journey. At Northwest Piedmont Supporters of Wounded Veterans, they honor our heroes and stand by the families who share their journey. Join us as we celebrate our Purple Heart veterans and their families at the Northwest Piedmont Supporters of Wounded Veterans Purple Heart Banquet. It's a day to honor their courage, commitment, and sacrifice. Saturday, August 15th at the Richard Childress Racing Campus. Each Purple Heart recipient or family member of a Gold Star or deceased recipient receives 2 free tickets. Tickets available to the public for $25 per person. Call 336-462-2024. That's 336-462-2024. Online at Northwest Piedmont Supporters of WoundedVeterans.org or go to WSJS.com for more information.
We are here for you.
In a world full of noise, your message deserves to be heard. WSJS is your trusted partner in turning listeners into loyal customers. Whether they're driving, working, or unwinding, we ensure they hear you. With WSJS, your voice rides along, never scrolled past. We deliver familiarity, frequency, and results. Let your brand connect with our audience. Discover the power of radio at WSJS.com. Click on Advertise with Us. Your audience awaits.
The Daily Pulse, the sound of the Triad, amplified. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad.
Great in my waist, I don't play with the fakes.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
Hope you had a great weekend, and I'm really just happy that you're hanging out with us here on a Monday of the Daily Pulse. Stephen Beck at Stephen Beck TO at WSJS Radio. Follow along there. Greatest place to also catch our video feeds. A quick, easy click because it'll just pop up when we come on live, but you can do it on YouTube as well. This half hour, got a couple of Triad sporting events that are finding out that they may not make the cut. And I just think that would be a big swing and miss. So we'll talk a little bit about that if we have time. There's also a couple of foodie pieces. Love food, love talking it. We'll gear that up. And also travel season closing to an end, and there's 15 mistakes that people listed out that they wouldn't make again. I have a feeling, though, a lot of us make them repetitively, and we don't really care about it. So we'll circle back to that as well. Let's start things, though, with a reset of your latest headlines.
1, 2, let's go.
Forecasters now warning that tomorrow here in our state, we could see a pretty strong weather system. It's supposed to be hovering around the time frame tomorrow evening into late night hours, early morning Wednesday, where forecasters are saying we could see wind gusts of 50 to 60 plus miles per hour winds. That could down trees, interrupt power, maybe some hail with this storm, and even an isolated tornado is possible, while the flooding threat currently appears lower than what we just had last week with all the rain. Now, with that, it's not completely a mystery that this is the case, but we're still not out of drought conditions throughout the majority of this state. 4 were arrested after a fatal Morganton shooting, where Morganton police officers found a gunshot victim in the roadway near West Union Street and Hillside Lane early morning hours on Sunday. The victim there did die, Kevin Mack, who's only 18 years old, charged with felony murder, held without bond. 3 other people face obstruction charges. One was also charged with discharging a firearm inside city limits. Over the weekend is when we have these golf tournaments going on. We had our last major, lots of conversation had around that with the Open Championship. Bryson DeChambeau, did he have a penalty? Did he not? Ho-hum. Most of the golf majors this year were pretty dry, pretty boring. First tournament out of that was the 3M Open. And yesterday, youngster Jackson Koivu gets his first win.
A dream come true. How about that par? How about this young man?
That was Nance's final call on the broadcast there of CBS, and Jackson had to hold off. The world number 1 player, Scotty Scheffler, who was trying to make a comeback and beat him, ended up just a few strokes shy, though, of Koivu's. I think it was a total of 25 under. He's only 21, so good in these late events in the year to see some youngster guys get a shot. That this field actually pretty strong considering, and still Jackson pulled out this win. Now, I'm not as locked in to really spend a ton of time on that. What I did find interesting, though, was Lucas Glover, who is a former Open champion, or excuse me, U.S. Open champion himself. Not as I guess elite as he once was on the circuit. But yesterday, while playing this 3M Open, he did catch a lot of people's attention when, we'll just say, he pulled his dogs out.
Nothing unusual here until, watch what Lucas does here, Damon. I'll give you the backstory to why this happened. Lucas Glover has been extremely outspoken about his dislike for aim point and how close the players are getting to the hole while they're using this aim point and aim point express. And I guess it just boiled over. Lucas has had enough. He's shoes off, and he's making a point right there. And I, for one, totally agree with him. I don't agree with how close the players are stomping around the hole while aim point's going on.
Now, if you're not watching our video feed, just a quick recap there. It's basically Lucas Glover deciding, yeah, I've had enough here. I'm going to just kick my cleats off before I walk all over the green and make a putt, which we mentioned DeChambeau being a storyline from that Open. I directly mentioned that as an exact example where improving a lie happens consistently all across the game of golf all the time. R&A, they really picked at the improvement of that lie in the rough and tall grass being trampled on, but that honestly happened by 50 spectators prior to Bryson even getting in there. And then you could even throw in the elements of whether or not if Bryson being on TV all the time was another reason why they even paid attention and realized that might be a break of the rule. Well, players, I mean, they're walking all over the green. They're doing this aim point thing now where they basically straddle the line of a putt with their feet. You could argue all day long that that's changing the lie. That's changing the ground all around where they're going to be taking their stroke and hitting their shot. Afterwards, Lucas Glover, though, responding to a message on social media, we plopped that up here on our video feed as well this morning, where he explained it wasn't anything to do with aim point. These are just the broadcasters kind of reading into thing. Instead, somebody in a pairing ahead of him had complained about spike marks. Again, the changing of the ground. And so I guess he just had enough of hearing that. He says that he was actually singled out for being somebody that wears like metal spikes. And so he just threw his shoes off and just was tired of having people complain about marks around the hole and wherever he was walking. So that more entertaining to me, the conversation, than Koivu's win. I would love to have that entertainment, though, continue in the Triad. And actually a week away, we're going to have golf back in the Triad in Sedgefield at the Wyndham Championship over here. And we're just not certain that that's going to last much longer. Maybe more surprising as well is there's now some scuttle that NASCAR's Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium might also be ending after a couple of years. We'll start there. The NASCAR series has hosted this basically invitational exhibition style event, Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, past 2 years. They call it the Cookout Clash. According to a report from The Athletic, the 2027 Clash, though, is expected to return and go back to Daytona. The city of Winston-Salem has said there's been no final decision that has been announced. Assistant City Manager Ben Rowe said the NASCAR was still developing their 2027 schedule. He indicated the NASCAR would not comment until the official schedule is fully released later in the year. But Rowe emphasized that the city, Winston-Salem, continues to have strong partnership with NASCAR in managing racing operations out at Bowman Gray. Now, if you missed the Cookout Clash from this last year, there should be zero surprise that they would move this exhibition style event to somewhere much warmer. I mean, Daytona, Florida, you're not going to risk in February how much ever snow the Triad received last year, where the whole NASCAR team, Winston-Salem city employees, everybody was having to come in. Well, you can even remember a couple of NASCAR drivers being a part of this. They all lent a hand to try to remove debris, snow, ice, all the stuff out of Bowman Gray in order to try to get this Clash race in. And it ended up getting underway. I think it took an extra, what was that, like 2 or 3 days before they actually were able to get on the track. And I know TV was disrupted. There was a lot of headaches from it. So the time of year that they've had this race and getting it back to Daytona shouldn't be a surprise. Probably the smarter decision, honestly. What I fear, though, is that NASCAR may not find a reason to implement another stop at Bowman Gray for a points race, which I said they should when we were just talking about the North Wilkesboro race. What was that, like a week ago? They need to lean into these more historic tracks, different types and styles of racing. You see it at North Wilkesboro. You saw it at the Brickyard. Honestly, you see it at Bristol. You see it here in Winston-Salem at Bowman Gray when they actually get these Cup Series cars out on this teeny tiny track and they're all trying to navigate. It's like chess instead of fastest person wins. And that's what a general observer, that's what a sports fan, novice to the racing industry, though, really we would eagerly accept, and we would try to be drawn to that more than we would be just a ordinary normal event held on any given weekend all throughout South Carolina, Florida, and wherever else they decide to put these super speedways, even the one down 85 in Charlotte. So I'm fearful that they will not implement another way to have racing out at Bowman Gray. In regards to Winston-Salem, I guess they got something out of it. A couple years that it allowed them to do some really cool stuff with the track. Got a new scoreboard out of it. So not all would be lost given this, but it is a bit sad to close that chapter. Other thing that could be sad is what's going to happen with that Wyndham Championship that's upcoming. Little may you know, they don't have sponsorship beyond this year. Wyndham has been a huge sponsor for this event from going well back into the early 2000s, and they've already said, like, hey, this is our last year. We're done after this. And that is carried out on top of the PGA Tour considering major competition changes. We've shared a few bits and pieces of those information items here on the Daily Pulse at times, but they're looking at a 2-tiered type system. They want top end, high quality, captivating major style golf tournaments. And then, we'll have this kind of almost like farm system, lower range events, tier 2 for players that are trying to fight their way onto the PGA Tour to get a card, all those things. So an event in a small market that doesn't have a sponsor, I would say that there's a lot of doubt as to what its future could look like. Mark Brazel, who's been big with the Wyndham Championship, has tried to remain positive. I mean, they're giving an outlook that because the Wyndham is the last stop on the PGA Tour, because it's held this place towards the end where players are trying to fight for FedEx Cup playoff points. They have one final opportunity at Sedgefield to qualify. And then if you throw in the fact that there's a lot of esteemed tradition with this tournament, well back into the GGO days, this course, a Donald Ross design, you would like to think that will save its spot, that would make it on the tier 1 level of what the PGA Tour is trying to do. But neither of these events, honestly, are 100% clear where they go, where they may land. And I feel like both would be a big miss for their governing institutions. NASCAR needs more change, more fluctuation. Try something different. Try something new. Get back to your roots and your history. PGA Tour, same. You tiger-proofed all these courses. Well, every once in a while, it would be nice to see you go out to a shopmaker's course like Sedgefield. We'll take our break here. When we come back, we're going to save seafood maybe till tomorrow. So those that were really excited to find out about our shrimping industry, I'm excited actually, because I think the research that's in is funny, but on brand really. Instead, we're going to travel and find out some mistakes that you've probably made. Those are next here on WSJS.
Think you know your Trace Adkins songs?
Oh, man, those guys are brilliant.
Head to WSJS.com and take the Trace Adkins Emoji Challenge. Can you guess the Trace Adkins hit song from the Emojis? Enter for your chance to win tickets to see Trace Adkins' 30th anniversary tour at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Man, this is for them alone.
Play now at WSJS.com and see if you can crack the emoji code.
Like changes, then it changes again. That's why when it comes to your financial goals, the Edward Jones philosophy is you can't predict the unexpected, but you can prepare. Challenges such as job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one could disrupt your family's financial security. Edward Jones financial advisor Doug Eslick can help you prepare for life's ups and downs. Call 336-477-6042 to get your plan in place. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Uh-oh. Hear that creak? You know what I mean. Your garage door's groan signals trouble ahead. Ignoring it could lead to costly repairs or even accidents. But don't worry. Precision Garage Door has your back with their Safe and Sound package. Enjoy a 25-point safety inspection, performance tweaks, lubrication, and a detailed diagnostic report, all for just $79. Keep your garage smooth and secure. Visit PrecisionDoorNC.com today. That's PrecisionDoorNC.com.
The Cup Series returns to Darlington Labor Day weekend, Sunday, September 6th. It's the highly anticipated kickoff to the NASCAR playoffs with the running of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at DarlingtonRaceway.com.
That first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Ooh, yeah! From Winston-Salem to the Triad sky, WSJS keeps you plugged in on the fly. For every headline, every single score, WSJS.com now, and so much more. It's the Triad's news. Talk and sports. WSJS. WSJS.
The Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, covering what matters most across the Triad with voices you trust and stories that resonate.
Alrighty, it is Beck back with you here, and thanks for hanging out with us on the Daily Pulse today. Great week ahead. Every day, 9 to 10. Find us right here, we'll say, for now. Lots of cool stuff coming up. And that's why I always tell you, follow us at Stephen Beck TO, at WSJS Radio. You'll stay up to date there, and WSJS.com. Keep that on your favorites tabs as well. The end to what has been a great summer travel, I'm sure for a lot of people. I'm yet to really get on a big vacay myself, so I'm just over here envious of everybody else. But it's coming to an end really fast. So we've got some mistakes people have made when they travel. These predominantly by air travel coming up for you in a second. But along with that, it means kids will get back to school, of course. And when that happens, well, it's sometimes difficult for you as a parent, if you're like me, to make sure that your schedule aligns with the kids' schedule at school. And if it doesn't, where's a good safe place? A place where they can hang out with friends, they can make good memories, they can spend before school or maybe even after the school bell ends. It's good that the YMCA of Northwest North Carolina has an option for that. Their before and after school care available for you. Easy to sign up if you just go in one of their 13 branches of the Northwest North Carolina, or you can do it online on their website, ymcanwnc.org. They'll make sure your kids are safe. They'll make sure that your kids are having fun. It's their before and after school care, the YMCA of Northwest North Carolina. If you've been traveling, you've probably made one of these mistakes, and a lot of times, honestly, I've made these mistakes, and I don't really even care that I have, honestly, because some of this stuff that they recommend is kind of crazy. Like number 15 here, assign someone in your travel party to verify everyone's travel documents. Hey, Bill, you're traveling with us. You got a good eye. You're wearing glasses, so you got 4 eyes, dude. Can you look at my license? Can you also look at my ticket? Verify that those are 100% clear and true. I mean, who's doing that? That's number 15. Number 14 is create a plan for staying connected to your tour group. That's where you see all the people that are going on like a Disney vacay, for instance. They're all wearing the same T-shirt. I feel like that's a good way to stay connected. I like that. Unity, baby. Number 12, prepare for long immigration and passport control lines. That right there is more 2026 than anything on this list right there. Like I'm going on a vacation and I got to look up and see what's happening in immigration right now. I'm going to worry about that. I know I don't do this. Number 9, carry complete and backup copies of required documents. I don't know what carry complete documents would mean. Christian, got a handle on that? What is an incomplete document?
Oh, well, basically, I think they want like a photocopy or some, basically a copy of whatever you're
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what we're trying to get here with that, but backup copies, I definitely don't do that. This one is probably the most relatable out of all of them, honestly. Allow extra connection time when traveling. I always try to cut that close. You don't want to find me sitting around an airport for 6 hours waiting on my connector. I try to get it in the next 30 minutes. There's a whole list here. You could go Google those. Main thing is we want everybody to get back safe so they can hang out with us here on the Daily Pulse. And it's been fun today. We'll be back tomorrow morning as well. Good lineup as always ahead. You stay with us here at WSJS and WSJS.com.
Feel the rush of the stadium and the roar of the crowd